So we just woke up. We made our plans last night because the storm had significantly shifted toward the Sarasota area. It's supposed to hit us now, as before it was going to be further toward the eastern side of Florida. So we got to cut all these trees down so I can get to my windows, to board up my windows, and then we got to secure all the stuff in the yard, pack all our stuff, move to a different person's house. Hopefully that will take most of the day. They're forecasting for Sunday afternoon is when the high winds hit, and possibly in excess of 100 miles an hour. So things have drastically shifted in the last couple of days, and so we're sort of on task Saturday to get things done, get sandbags, get things boarded up, and get all the loose debris put away. So this place is like, I don't know if it's the only place in town that has gas or not, but you can see there's a few cars here. They have bags over the things. Maybe, I think everybody's parking here to get last minute supplies maybe. This section of road, there's not really nobody. Oh, there's actually a car behind us. I take that back. There's actually a guy right there. There's 2 cars on the road right now. But other than that, everybody is being smart and staying home and saving their gas. And
yeah, there's a lot of unknown factors. When are stores going to open after the storm's gone? When is the gas stations going to open? When can you go and get water? When can you go and get food? There's a lot of unknowns because they said the power's going to go out from anywhere from a couple days to a week or more. So there's a lot of question marks, I guess. That's what leaves me with a lot of anxiety, I think, as we're waiting for this storm to come and go, and just a lot of the anxiety, just not knowing when are we going to go back to work. Is it, are the places where we work going to be still okay to go back to work? Is power going to be out? How are we going to deal with that?
So I wanted to film a little bit out in the weather to see what it's like. It's been gusting pretty good and raining pretty good. Part of me wants it to be really windy, so where it's like almost pushing me over, but I'm very glad. Hey, there's a squirrel over there on the ground. He's right across the street. Where's that squirrel going? So if you look at the trees over here, you can get an idea, a little bit of an idea what kind of winds we're dealing with here. Yeah, there's some trees over there. Some gusting winds. So right now it's not gusting, but a little bit earlier it was gusting. This is the place we're staying at, which is a pretty sturdy block house. Every time I think about going out, it's gusting, and then when I get out here, it's sort of like not gusting. It starts to calm down a little bit. I'm holding like a plastic thing on my phone right now. So you've got a little bit of debris over here, some small branches off the oak trees here. So we're not getting hit with, okay, so here comes another gust. Oh, actually there is a limb down right there. These pine trees are very brittle, and those would be the first to break, and I don't know if you could see up there, but the limb snapped right there, and the limb's right here. This is the pond here. Not really a lot to see as far as any damage, which is good. I'm knocking on wood. You can see a lot of these pieces are pine trees, and pine trees are just brittle. It's usually the first tree to break would be a pine tree. Yeah, so I'm a bit of a weather adventurer. I don't know if you call it, I'm not really a storm chaser, but it's just interesting. The phenomenon of weather is interesting to me. You can see some water starting to collect. I got my my flooding boots on, but it's just interesting to me when Mother Nature comes out just to see. Here's the back of the house right here. Not a lot of windows on this side, which is good. Just in the back, and we have some shutters. You can see some of the rain coming off the houses here. You can, out here in the open on the golf course, you can see a little bit better. Some small tree limbs down. A little bit of ponding out here. The wind's starting to pick up a little bit. I was gonna remember to bring a scarf. Now
we're getting a little bit of a gust here. That's a little bit of gusting. Little bit of gusting there. All right, so that's it. There's a my housemate there is looking at me. You're peeking out the door. All right, so it's about 6 o'clock, I think, and I think the power finally went out. It went out, and then it came back on for a minute, then it went out again. So I was hoping that maybe it's just one of those things where it's going to take a while to come back on. So we got the candles out here, and unfortunately I didn't get my phone charged, so I hope the power's going to come back on, but we're scheduled to get it actually worse. Here's the cat, who's very calm and composed. And we got the candles out, and it's not quite dark yet, but you can see a little bit outside. Still a little bit of light. The wind's starting to pick up. It's supposed to get the winds are supposed to get heavier toward 2 o'clock when we see the eye, and then later on. So that's what it looks like right now, kids. It's been downgraded from what they said it was going to be. It was going to be a category 4, and then it went down to 3, and now it's going to be a 2, and we're looking at possibly having 90-mile-an-hour winds at some point at the height. But they said it's weakening and it's not going to gain any strength, which is really good, which is a really good sign. But I'm going to be really bored because I can't watch TV or read the computer, so I'll just be reading a book, I guess, by candlelight. As long as I have batteries and stuff and candles and all that, I think we should be okay for right now. There's the mirror. So we're hunkering down in the bedroom in here. I've got the ghost cat here. I love this cat. He blends so perfectly with the bed you can't even barely see him. A little ghost cat right there. This is the window over here. Unfortunately, I wish this window is so big. I wish they had storm shutters over here. But you can definitely hear the wind hitting the side of the house. You can hear it now, right? Howling, kind of. Yeah, but it's so dark out because the clouds are overhead. You're not even getting hardly any light at all outside. You can just barely sort of make out a tree. I don't think the camera's going to pick it up, but there's sort of, you can sort of see the sky, and then there's a tree out there, and you can hear. Oh, the cat's right behind me. Here's a ghost cat. Look, it's a ghost cat. This cat is so white. Anyway, back to the storm. Making a lot of noise now. I think it's about 8 o'clock-ish. We're still supposed to get higher winds still after 8, maybe up until 2, I think, is when the peak storm time is. So unfortunately, I kind of wish I had a way to film it. But I think we're okay. You okay, cat? So here we are. You can see that Sarasota is between St. Petersburg and Cape Coral there. And the red part, I believe, is the eye. You can sort of see how it's turning all at that red little dot right there. So I think that we're going through the eye right now. And I think it's, what time does it say? It's about 9:49. So they had predicted it for later tonight. But it looks like, as far as my calculations on this radar, it says that we're going through it right now. And it looks like the eye is I don't know, way to the right of where Sarasota was. So where they forecasted it was supposed to come right over Sarasota, which is on the coast here, as close as I can get to my finger right there. It's to the right of us, so we're getting the weaker side of the storm, as far as I understand. So we're getting a big break. The storm's slowing down. The winds aren't as high, so I think we're getting a better deal than we originally had thought. They were forecasting for higher winds and things. So just sort of an update here. So it's about 10 a.m. at night. Tried to go to sleep. I couldn't really go to sleep. And I thought, what better to do at night if you can't sleep? Just go out in the hurricane winds and see what's going on here. So go outside and take a look what's going on out here.
I think we're going, the eye wall I think is right over Sarasota. As far as I could tell from the radar, we're right over in the middle part of the storm. So I thought I would go out and see if I could get any video, because I don't know if you can see any of that. We're supposed to be having the most of the storm right now, I guess. I don't know if you can see that palm tree. This flashlight is like almost useless. We're getting a good blast here. Palm trees are getting some good wind. You got some debris out here on the road. Looks like there's some water. Because supposedly right now is supposed to be the brightest time of night. I apologize if this is too dark. I'll just shoot the ground here. Alright, so this is what kind of damage we're looking at. As far as any home damage in the house that we're staying at, I don't really see anything. There's like a light post that got bent over a little bit, real minor. A lot of these little small pieces of the tree fell down. It's funny because it's all these little short lengths of oak are scattered all over from all these oak trees, but most of the limbs are intact. I haven't been to my house, so I haven't seen it, but this limb slaps. It didn't slap, but it snapped. It snapped. It was on Snapchat. It was snap. Right up there, you can sort of see the where it snapped right there and fell down. Pine tree. Just a lot of debris in the road. I don't see anybody's roof damages, which is really good. My girlfriend said she was driving earlier and that there was a couple of trees down the road, and I kind of went on the internet and looked. Some minor tree damage. Just hoping my house didn't suffer any major damage. The roof, it's always a pain in the ass to patch roofs. So we got really lucky. So what we're seeing is like minor branch damage. I haven't seen like a whole tree down yet, but
really, with 3 cats that didn't know each other, yeah.
Yeah, for the camera. Bob's here in the cat carrier. We're taking him home so he can terrorize his sister.
She's not.
There's a generator right there probably running the lights right now, the stoplights. Probably hooked it up here so this stoplight, because this is a major intersection. So this is my girlfriend's client's road. There's a pretty big oak tree cut right in half here. A lot of oaks. This is a very wooded area. A lot of big oak trees and stuff in the area. A couple limbs came down. This one's pretty big. This is probably one of the biggest trees I've seen toppled yet. You can see just right where it sheared off here. Snapped off like a twig. It might have been a little rotten, I'm not sure, but lots of limbs over here. It almost looks like somebody came and dragged these limbs to make a path for the road out here. Some pretty good chunks. This is Kim's friend's house here. They have a lot of small limbs down, but I don't see any damage as far as the house damage, but some good chunks out here. There's a police Humvee right there, which I've never seen before. Police emergency vehicle, there's an FPL truck right there. There's an emergency truck right there. I guess they got a fleet of people out there probably to look after the power lines, the fire truck. They're only letting people over to Bird Key, which Bird Key is over this bridge. There's a small key, and then you have to go over another bridge to get to Lido Key, which is the large key, which there is a larger population. Look at these guys over here. These guys are like jogging over the bridge. I don't know if they're jogging or just in a hurry. Lots of big palm trees down right here. So Lido Key is still closed at this time. So you can see this this lighted street sign was right there, and now it's choosing to take a rest right here. So it must have been some pretty heavy winds out here knocking down that stuff. Fortunately, none of the posts have fallen. There's actually a wire here that's swinging. You can see there's a wire there. I don't think it's a high voltage wire, but pretty well damaged. I talked to these guys. This is a CBS national news crew who has been going around doing live shots. They look very commando-like because they're all in, this guy's all in black, and they got black trucks. Everything seems to be black. It almost looks like there's some kind of storm chasers from the movie Twister. Some fence damage over here on the left. That's a really old fence too,
Yes,
so that's why. I was figuring the one next to my house was going to be falling over. This guy already took his wood off his windows already.
Look
Oh,
at that tree.
this whole tree right there.
Oh my God.
The whole thing's
I'm not
hanging
coming
low.
this street anymore.
Who's that? Is that Tim right there?
Tim, yeah.
Wow, there's a lot of limbs over here. There's a couple of our neighbors over here. So this is my side yard here. There was a piece of fence that was standing right there, which was smashed by this large branch coming down right here. And I'm happy as pie because it didn't hit my roof, didn't hit any of the windows. It looks like it came down right in the right spot, just right next to the house. It's a pretty good sized limb. It's a pretty good piece. This is probably one of the biggest limbs that's ever broken off this tree. You can see it just snapped right there. Pretty good size. It didn't hit any of my power or the windows, so it was exactly perfect. I don't even know where, oh, you know where you probably can't see it, but right there it snapped off. I guess this whole tree is leaning. Looks like maybe the roots pulled up some, but this tree should have been more upright, and now it's pushed over, so it's actually it's hanging over the road really low, about 5 feet off the road. It's just hanging there. Quite a few limbs from my neighbor's tree came down the driveway, but it doesn't look like it really damaged anything. But you can see how low this tree isn't actually broken. It's just hanging down in the road right here. Very low.